Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Jim Freeman. Tonight, a man is facing a manslaughter charge after Richmond police say he gave a woman a pill laced with carfentanil, and she died. Darius Moughton was arrested Thursday, the same day we brought you a story about the alarming trend of fentanyl-laced pills killing unsuspected users. In Richmond, police say this trend is fairly new in the community, but certainly something that can grow. Chad Hedrick has the latest.
In quiet towns across the U.S., there's a deadly trend brewing.
It's super dangerous for any community.
Pills laced with lethal substances like fentanyl and the even more potent carfentanil, killing whoever consumes too much.
These people who are suffering from addiction are thinking they're buying something, they consume it, and it ends up killing them.
In Richmond, police say this happened to a woman in August when she took what was thought to be a Percocet. Police have now charged Darius Moughton with manslaughter and trafficking after they say he sold her the lethal pill.
When you have someone who doesn't care what they're selling someone who's suffering with addiction, you got a serious problem because, you know, they're selling poison to people.
Moughton's charges come 3 months after the woman's death.
The chances are now it has fentanyl in it.
And the same day we told you about the surge in counterfeit pills in Kentucky, that's putting departments on high alert.
Now our investigators respond to all these overdoses where someone's deceased. And they treat that just like a homicide investigation.
Cracking down on the ones allegedly bringing the lethal drugs to these quiet towns.
And the department takes it seriously. We will continue to take it seriously. And if we find the people that are responsible for this, we will hold them accountable.
Chad Hedrick reporting. Richmond police do have a drug tip line. You can call 859-623-1714. Timothy Belcher was sentenced to 41 months in federal prison on Tuesday in order to pay $817,000 in restitution. According to his plea agreement in court documents, Belcher was a licensed attorney in Pike County. He agreed to represent a client and her daughter in a wrongful death suit. When the lawsuit was settled in 2004, half the settlement was to go to the victim. The other half was to be put in an escrow account to be distributed amongst the victim's 3 children. Belcher admitted to transferring money from the escrow account to his law practice for personal and business expenses, as well as failing to report the money he embezzled on his taxes. The school funding task force hears from school officials and teachers across the Commonwealth and bring budget priorities to the state legislature. In 2021, the state fully funded kindergarten for all public schools. Typically, the state would only cover 50% of the bill, but on the recommendation of the task force and with new revenue, they may keep full funding permanently.
I can think of no better area as early childhood education, getting our children off to a good start in their school life and helping them succeed in the future.
Representative Tipton pre-filed the legislation to make the full funding permanent for the 2022 legislative session, which begins January the 4th. As many deer hunters prepare for the beginning of modern gun season, it's important to keep in mind several safety precautions going into tomorrow. When hunting with firearms, it's crucial to practice weapon safety, but Sergeant Robbie Spears with the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife says if you hunt from a tree stand, it's important to ensure that you are harnessed in and that the tree stand is properly mounted.
We see more tree stand incidents than we do anything with a firearm. I think people really get lax with that. You need to be connected to the tree with your harness at all times. It's not a legality thing, it's a safety thing.
Sergeant Spears adds that it's important for hunters to consult this year's Kentucky Hunting and Trapping Guide to brush up on all rules and regulations. You can find more hunting safety tips on our website. It's almost that time of year again. Harlan County native and Mountain Santa, Junior Jordan Howard, along with volunteers, are currently preparing for the season of giving. In honor of his dad, Mike Howard, Jordan has continued his tradition of making sure children have a Christmas they'll never forget. Volunteer Jason Saylor says this is possible each and every year because of the community's support.
We just want to thank everybody for their support and their help, and thank the Lord for everything because He provides it.
Jordan says there are currently between 700 and 800 gifts already wrapped for this year. Students at Pike Central High School set their sights on superheroes today. A partnership between the University of Kentucky School of Fine Arts and the Pike County Extension Office invited students to reimagine their grandparents as superheroes, highlighting the characteristics that make them the outstanding characters they are by making a comic book cover in their honor.
It's a developmental construct that can be really empowering and enlightening and can really open up a different way of thinking about them.
Students came up with names like Motorcycle Man and Crazy Cooker, saying it was fun to see their grandparents in a different light.
Well, we're continuing to watch a reinforcing shot of cool air move into the mountains this evening. The temperature map out there right now. Many of us, of course, over in the Big Sandy, upper 40s, even low 50s, some mid 50s down toward Harlan. But look out to the west. Cold air is a-coming. We're in the mid 40s in Irvin and Somerset. Lexington checking in at 38. Pinpoint Dopplers showing an area of light showers continuing to move through. Not all of that is reaching the ground. Some of it is, though, and will continue to move through the region as we head through the remainder of tonight. You see that along that low pressure system, that cold front attached to that low pressure system pushing through during the nighttime hours tonight. We're going to continue to see that reinforcing shot of cool air come in overnight, and that's really what's going to drop temperatures as we head through the overnight period. Now, depending on how fast those temperatures drop, as the rest of that line moves through, we could see it end, especially in higher elevations, as a little bit of wintry mix or a few flurries. No big deal on those roads, but it's still something we'll be keeping an eye on. It's going to be a cool day Saturday. Temperatures only in the low to middle 40s. We're going to be down into the 30s again for our Saturday night. A mainly dry night for Saturday after a mainly dry day, but more showers possible ahead of another shot of cool air on Sunday and into Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, which again could end as a little bit of wintry mix or a few flurries. On that Community Trust Bank extended forecast, where your weekend is always in view, we warm back up as we head into next week before another system heads our way as we head towards the end of next week. The roller coaster continues. Jim?
Okay, Evan. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. John Lowe and Camille Gear will have highlights and scores from across the coverage area, plus highlights of tonight's Kentucky's basketball game. The Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime is coming your way right after this break.